Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the poem I Remember by Thomas Hood. Thomas Hood was a celebrated English poet, humorist and editor known for both his light-hearted verses and his poignant depictions of the poor. Born in 1799, he gained recognition for works like Songs of the Shirt, which highlighted the harsh realities of the working class, and for his playful, pun filled light verse. Though he suffered from poor health throughout his short life, dying at 45, his literary output included poems such as I Remember, and Gold, and collection like Whims and Oddities. His unique style combined a gift for humor with a keen social conscience, making him a notable figure in Victorian literature. I Remember is a nostalgic poem by Thomas Hood that contrasts the joyous, innocent freedom of childhood with the burdens and sorrow of adulthood. Through vivid, idyllic memories of nature, flowers, and carefree play, the speaker reflects on a past where life felt lighter and heaven was closer. In the present, burdened by adult troubles, the speaker feels a profound sense of loss and longs for that vanished innocence and happiness. Thomas Hood's I Remember is a nostalgic poem structured in four stanzas where the poet contrasts his happy childhood with his troubled adult life. In the first stanza, he recalls his childhood home and a perfectly timed morning sun, a happy memory that now starkly contrasts with his adult wish for death. The second stanza details the vibrant flowers, a robin's nest in lilacs, and laburnum tree planted by his brother, emphasizing the enduring nature of some memories. The third stanza focuses on the carefree joy of childhood play on a swing, contrasting with his current burdened spirit. Finally, the fourth stanza remembers the imposing fir trees of his youth and the innocent belief that their tops touched the sky, a childish wonder lost in adulthood, leading to a poignant reflection on lost innocence and happiness. The first stanza of the poem reads as I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. Explanation. Stanza 1, The House and the Sun. The poet begins by recalling the specific house of his birth and a little window where the morning sun would enter, personifying the sun as a punctual, friendly presence. This happy image is sharply contrasted with the adult's current despair, leading him to express a wish that he had died in the night rather than endure the other day. The second stanza of the poem reads as I remember the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made up of light, the lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. Explanation of stanza 2, The Garden Memories. The poet vividly remembers the bright, vivid colors of the red and white roses, violets, and lily cups in his childhood garden, which held a magical quality. He also recalls a lilac bush where a robin built its nest, and a laburnum tree planted by his brother, symbolizing lasting connections to the past. The third stanza of the poem reads as I remember, where I was used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallow on the wing. My spirit flew in the feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. Explanation stanza 3. Playtime and a carefree spirit. This stanza focuses on the joy of playing on a swing, where the poet felt his spirit could fly in feathers as light and free as a swallow in flight. This carefree feeling is starkly contrasted with his current adult state, where his body and soul feel weighted down by life's many troubles. The last stanza reads, As I remember, the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now it is little joy to know I am farther off from heaven than when I was a boy. Explanation stanza 4. The fir trees and lost innocence. The poet remembers the dark tall fir trees and his childlike wonder, believing their slender tops almost touched the sky. He realizes this was a naive, childish perspective and acknowledges that adulthood was brought more realistic but less joyful, understanding further distancing him from a heaven like state of innocence and happiness. Themes and core ideas presented in the poem. Nostalgia for childhood. The central theme is a deep yearning for the past and a romanticized view of childhood. Innocence versus burden. The poem highlights the contrasts between a child's ignorance and light spirit and the adult's heavy spirit, weighed down by the troubles and fever of adult life. Loss of wonder. The speaker feels a profound distance from the joys of childhood, believing that gaining knowledge has come at the cost of spiritual innocence and a connection to heaven. The message of Thomas Hood's I remember is a poignant contrast between the joyful, innocent, and carefree nature of childhood and the harsh, complex, and burden filled reality of adulthood. The poem conveys a sense of deep nostalgia for a lost past, highlighting how growing up involves the painful loss of innocence and a longing to return to the simpler, happier days of youth. The list of hard words is given below, respectively, with their meanings. You all can go through these meanings for a better understanding of the poem. So, this is the end of the video. Hope you all understood the poem, and please stay tuned for getting further more knowledge in English literature. Thank you.